What up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy, aka DFS Dudes. We're here to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Thursday, December 6th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't come and check out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure and check out the site, man, dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, how you doing out there, Jeremy?
Yo, what's up, man? This is a crazy night in NBA. I loved it. I had a pretty good night. We had a pretty good night. It was a good night.
Yeah, no, for me too, man. I had a pretty good night as well. It was crazy though, man. It was definitely a crazy night. Like, man, for sure. Honestly, I don't know if I've seen. Well, I mean, I have seen a high score night like this, but this is right there. I mean, 353 was cash line pretty much. That's crazy, bro.
Which was higher than tournaments. The $4 was the $4.44 GPP. The cash line was 344.5.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, I still had a pretty good night because freaking, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was like right on the border of my cash entries. I kind of cashed some, missed others like by 1 point, 2 points. So, that would kind of break even on the cash, but literally almost all my GPPs cashed, my 100-man leagues that I like to play, those cashed, then I max entered as well. The 25 cent with the optimizer just to kind of see where it was at. And man, I got about put what $37 in the 25 cent, got out 140. So I mean that was a nice little about 5 times on my investment like that. So yeah, good night for sure. How'd you do, man?
I needed overtime in the Laker game to take down the $4 tonight. I finished 10th, 401.5. I had Gay and DeRozan both going in that Lakers Spurs game. I get overtime and I probably take down. Nobody in front of me had either one of them. And I was looking to take down City. I was just hoping for overtime, and then your boy LeBron decided to go nuts down the stretch, and they pulled away, and that was it. I thought we were going to get overtime, and I was really, really excited about that. But good night overall. I mean, anytime you get a $4 entry into 300, it's a good night. Cashed a very high percentage of my entries overall, so it was a good night, man. I like nights like this. I had a good night. I finished in the top 25 in the 5 p.m. only as well, so it was a good night. It was a good night.
Yeah, bro. It's like, honestly, this is the first night in my 4 years of playing DFS that I can honestly say I literally cashed almost every single, GPP entry, and I didn't cash in, only a couple cash entries I cashed and a couple I missed. So it's like, man, that was crazy though, for sure.
So last night we were excited to kind of show everybody the new exposure tools and stuff that we're putting up on the site. And for everybody for the guys who come and watch us every single night, you guys know one of the things I always talk about is what a player's done in his recent performances and what a player's done against that opponent. And we're getting ready to release in the next probably 4 or 5 days a PVO tool that's helped me, especially on nights like this. Last night, based on that tool, that Jimmy Butler was a play at 7,900. I think I even said, Steph, there's no way you're going to play Jimmy Butler. You're going to call me crazy. But Jimmy Butler put up 55. Our tool had Jamal Murray. He puts up 50. Our tool was all over Paul George. He put up 72. So, we're excited. That's another thing we're excited to let everybody know that we're going to launch. It's a perfect time to join our site. So, if you guys haven't joined our site or checked us out, it's dfscheatsheet.com. Right now, for the holidays, we're doing a promotion. We'll take $20 off your first month using the code SIGNUP20, SIGNUP20. We are on absolute fire, man. The site is kicking ass. And if you want to take advantage of the cash game lineups, get what our cash game lineups are, an idea of what we're doing every day, that's the VIP membership. Right now, you can get that for the price of premium with that code SIGNUP20, regularly $59.99. Get it for $39.99 right now. Yeah, man, that's that. Everything's good right now. We're launching tools, and you know how it's going, man. We're smashing.
Yeah, man. Very, very excited how things have been going. And it's crazy because, bro, we've only been at this, almost 6 months now, and things are
Bro,
really, really looking bright for us, bro.
bro. The 1st of December was our 5-month anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you. Hey, I'm excited, definitely. So I'm ready to talk some basketball. You ready to jump in this small slate and kind of just get it done real quick?
Let's jump into it, man.
All right, man. First game we're going to do is we're going to go New York Knicks going into Boston to face the Celtics. This game has a 217.5 over under, and Boston's actually favored by 12.5 in this one.
Yeah, so I mean, look, this is an ugly slate. We say this all the time. Make sure you guys don't go real heavy on this slate. It's not a slate to go heavy. Tuesday night was a perfect example of why short slates are not cash slates. There's a blowout possibility on this slate, just like there was the other, Tuesday night. This is a really good Boston team who's trying to find its way. This is a Boston team who's supposed to be the second best team in the East, if not the first best team in the East. Haven't played at their potential yet. Playing against a Knicks team this Knicks team's a mess. The one guy you can count on from a usage standpoint is Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway is their highest usage player. We do know going into this one, Trey Burke is already out. So what do you do with that situation? Do you just lock in Emmanuel Mudiay at 5,700? To me, I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't big on Mudiay the other night. I played him because of the spot. But the guy to me that's playing the best, and he's really the biggest beneficiary of no Trey Burke, is Damian Dotson. Damian Dotson's just played really well. And if you look at his last 3 games, 24 minutes, 33 minutes, and 24 minutes, he's had at least 31.3 fantasy points in each of those 3 games, 31.3, 31.5, and 32.8. He's played 4 games against the Celtics. Going back to October 20th this year, he got 22 minutes, 21.4 fantasy points, right at 0.87. The reason that's important is because you can start to kind of project what he's going to get. The player who's averaging X amount of minutes off the bench, and then minutes open up with an injury, you can kind of project he's a point per minute player, going to get 30 minutes tonight. Is he a good buy? I like Dotson. I think Dotson has a lot of upside at 5,800. I think he's a big beneficiary of that. So, for me, I don't know how much I like this Knicks team. You can play Tim Hardaway. It's a GPP slate. So if it's a GPP slate, you've got to say that they're starting 5 plus Dotson and Trier are in play. But they're all tournament plays. There's not one cash play, but it's not a cash slate.
Yeah, I want to start off by telling everybody this is definitely not a cash slate. All 3 of these games could easily turn into a blowout. For sure, man. So, so on the Boston side of things, obviously you start with the captain, Kyrie Irving himself, 9,000. We need about 45 for value. He's averaging 39 on the season. Kyrie's Kyrie. If he's scoring the ball, then he's going to get you some fantasy points for the most part, get you some assists. And then if he has a bad shooting night, then he tends to kind of get you your, high 20 fantasy points. The price tag I don't really like on Kyrie, but, we're getting another perfect example of small slate. Prices are going to be a little bit higher on people. Definitely think that Kyrie is in play. Marcus Smart's been playing well these past couple games, but Jaylen Brown is expected to come back tomorrow, so that's going to kind of really, really eat into the minutes Smart was playing. Going to stay away from that situation. Gordon Hayward, man, his whole career, fantasy-wise, we've always seen him 7,500, and, he hasn't got there yet. 6,400 is still a great buy on him. Coming off the best game of the season for him, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 29 in only 29 minutes. Definitely he's starting to, kind of fill his way back in, and they're going to continue to give him, some more minutes. I think this is a guy, when it's all said and done, is going to play at least 32 minutes a game. I like him at the $6,400 price tag going against New York. And then, Jason Tatum, if you're looking for a little consistency at the power forward position, he's been pretty consistent for the most part. Outside of this game, he was getting a solid 25 to, 33, 34 fantasy points, 7.1. We need about 35 for value. Definitely think it gives you a solid floor, though. And then I'm just staying away from Al Horford at the center position. So, that's really it for me on the Boston side of things.
Real quick, Marv's asking us if we've heard the rumors about John Wall to the Lakers for Lonzo Ball. So I have not seen that, Marv, from any reputable news source. I've seen it from like the Lonzo Wire and some other stuff, but no reputable news source has confirmed that there's any trade rumors. I haven't seen it.
I would take John Wall though for sure, bro, in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, you could take Brandon Ingram and his bum ankle too for John Wall.
I'll give up Lonzo. Hey, we're Laker fans and we talk about we really like Ingram, but I would definitely give Ingram and Lonzo for John Wall, bro. And that would be crazy. John Wall with freaking LeBron.
Look, I don't want to get off topic here, dude, but LeBron has complained at every stop he's made that he's leaving because he doesn't want to be this high usage player. He wants to kind of just, play a certain aspect of his game. And everywhere he gets, he has to be the really high usage takeover player, right? I don't know how he'd really play with a legit point guard. I mean, we saw a young Kyrie Irving and he asked to be traded. They couldn't exist together. So I'd rather have Bradley Beal, to be honest with you. I'd rather put like a DeMar DeRozan, a Bradley Beal, another scorer that he could just pass the ball to and create opportunities for. Not an isolation player. That's why LeBron and Carmelo Anthony would have never worked. But I'd rather have Beal, to be honest with you.
No, I actually like that, dude. We just need one more scorer. You're right. But
and I think, you know what, LeBron signed a long-term deal. I think the guy, look, again, I don't want to get on a tyrant, but Klay Thompson's dad is a Laker. His dad is an announcer for the Lakers. His dad has a radio show in LA. Klay Thompson's a free agent. If you don't think for 1 minute that that's their number one target in free agency next year is Klay Thompson, you're tripping, because that's who they will try to go get to put a dead to rights knockdown shooter around LeBron James. That's what we need. That's what the Lakers need. They need a guy. You saw tonight in that game. They had that rookie out there. And LeBron kept just making miraculous passes to this dude, and he couldn't knock shots down. And LeBron at one point looked at Luke Walton like, dude, get this dude out.
Hey, so what do you think about this? You trade for Wall, right? I mean, if you get Wall, you're not going to complain. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you get Wall, sign Klay in the offseason, so you have Wall, Thompson, and LeBron.
I don't know, dude, because here's my thing with that, right?
Hey, bro, we're getting way off topic, bro. Let's just get this going.
My thing is this, dude. Can LeBron play in the post? Does he have that game? Can he be like a hybrid post player? And that's what he'd be if you had a true point guard like Wall and a knockdown shooter like Thompson. Is LeBron going to go in the post now?
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. All right, and let's get this next game going. Next game we're going to talk about, it's Phoenix Suns going into Portland to face the Trailblazers. This game has a 216.5 over-under, and Portland favored by 14 in this one.
So, look, the only way that I'm going to want anything to do with this game tomorrow is if CJ McCollum is out. If McCollum is out and it becomes about Lillard and Nurkic, then Lillard's usage is going to go through the roof, and there's enough scoring on Phoenix. I mean, look, Phoenix started the game like 1 for 18 or something like that, and that's why that game got out of hand. I mean, the first quarter they got down, and the lead was insurmountable. So if CJ McCollum happens to be out, then I want some exposure to this game, and now you can start looking at Josh Jackson again. You can look at Rashawn Holmes, who's getting extended run. I'm staying away from Okobo. I just am. I don't think he has enough there. I think Troy Daniels is a decent play as a drop spot. Jamal Crawford, decent play as a drop spot. But that's what both those guys end up being, is drop spot plays with upside. You could try to play the dude that what is his name? I can't even think of it. DeAnthony Melton. If you want to take a look at him, but he's 4,500. So I'm not sure if I want to go there either. I have a hard time with this game, dude, just because they just got the doors blown straight off of them the other night. I understand they shot badly, but I don't know. I have a hard time wanting anything to do with this.
Yeah, man. On the Portland side of things, obviously Damian Lillard. If CJ McCollum's out, this guy's gonna have absolute ridiculous usage. I can see this guy shooting 30 times if McCollum's not in there. And he's coming off 2 straight games, back-to-back solid games. The price tag is a little bit elevated, but on a small slate, if you're paying this price tag for Lillard, you really I'm sorry. If you're paying this price tag, then you're really paying for his floor. Is what you're really paying for. So you got to really watch that McCollum news. And then I think, man, if McCollum was out, I think it probably would be Nick Stauskas. I would think would probably get the start at 3,600.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that he would be a guy that you could throw in there if he's going to get close to 30 minutes or 28 minutes at least.
Stauskas is going to get some run, and so will Evan Turner.
Yeah, so I think both of those guys would be definitely in play even more if we get the news that McCollum is out. So I definitely think you could look at both of those guys. And then, like you talked about, Nurkic, it would be all about Lillard, pick and roll to Nurkic would be happening. And Ayton, I mean, the young dude is pretty good. He's a big dude, but hey, man, Nurkic, he's a monster, man. I don't know if the young dude's ready for that, bro. So I think Nurkic could definitely have a good day. So it's all about the McCollum news for sure.
I really want McCollum to be. I really want this game to be a good game because for me, one of the only players that kind of fits what I look for on this slate is Lillard. I mean, he's murdered Phoenix, 58.5, 49.5, 47.9, 52.5. It goes on and on and on. He's in such a good spot. The guy always exceeds value playing against Phoenix, and there's just not enough, I don't think, on the Phoenix side to stay in this game unless McCollum's out.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on to the last game, I guess this is the best game of the night. You got Houston going into Utah to face the Jazz. This game has a 217 over/under, and Utah's favored by 2 in this one.
So, I mean, Chris Paul, he played 37 minutes against Minnesota. He played 31 against Chicago. The Detroit game, they go to overtime. He plays 37 minutes. So, Chris Paul's minutes are back up. Fantasy production, not great. 36, 3, 38, 40, and 23 in his last 4. But let me get into what he's done recently against Utah. 67.4, 58.4, 52, 58.3, 40.5. The guy murders Utah. I like him at 8,100. I like him a lot. I think on a short slate, people always are going to look to who they can spend up for. There's comfort involved in that. And James Harden, right? 11-4. There's obviously with Booker out and with Warren out, there's value. So you can probably get 2 really high-end players in your lineup. I think Chris Paul at 8,100 is a phenomenal play. If McCollum is out, I think you load up a Chris Paul and a Damian Lillard. Ricky Rubio is the guy that I'm looking. I don't want to jump over you on Utah, but I want nothing to do with him on this slate. So the point guard pool is very small. I love Chris Paul here.
Yeah, man, for sure. Hey, you took it right out of my mouth, man. Ricky Rubio against Chris Paul. And Chris Paul, he's older, but so is Ricky Rubio. And I definitely think Chris Paul is still a really good defender. I'm not really looking at Rubio tomorrow at a 7.2 price tag. Donovan Mitchell, man, I mean, he's their main guy. He's their scorer. The guy pretty much gets as many shots as he wants, gets a ton of minutes. The price tag's elevated. It's a small slate, but I definitely think that he does give you a solid floor. If you pay this 8.5 price tag, you're really looking for him to go off in an up-tempo game, back and forth against James Harden. And he can get hot, have a good shooting night. We've seen it in these games, and he'll get you, 40 plus fantasy points. But otherwise, he's going to be right around 30-something. I honestly don't really like the price tag on him. A guy that I think I'm really going to try to get him a lot of my lineups tomorrow definitely will be James Harden, though, for sure. I mean, you have to pay up somewhere, and I'd rather pay up for James Harden than Damian Lillard if McCollum plays, for sure. So, Mitchell, I think that he's probably the best play on Utah. Capella is going to be going against Gobert. And that's the only thing that's kind of like about Gobert. I mean, he's been playing well. We just talked about him the other night, and he followed it right back up against San Antonio. But Capella versus Gobert, just a complete stay away from me. Derek Favors doesn't get enough minutes. I got Ingles you could possibly look at. You need 30 for value. And, he gives you a decent floor as well. He'll have the occasional games, but I definitely think that he locks you in for at least, 24, 25 fantasy points usually. I think you can look at Ingles. He has a little bit of upside. But the main guy I really like is Mitchell if he's going to be going back and forth with Harden.
I could be dead wrong, but I'm gonna say it. I think the winning lineups tomorrow night in all the tournaments do not have James Harden in them.
No, they don't?
Do not. And I'll tell you why. Here's my reasoning. The 3 games since Paul's been back, Harden goes 49.8, 46.7, and 47.4. He's yet to break 50 with Chris Paul. You look at his fantasy points per minute without Chris Paul, he's at almost 2, 1.97. You look at him with Chris Paul, he's in the 1.35. I love Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell may be a better play in this game. The game's at Utah. If we talk about Denver being a tough environment to play in, you have to talk about Utah being a tough environment to play in also. They're not a mile high, but there is some altitude. It's a loud place to go play. It's always been a hostile road environment for teams. They play good defense, and Mitchell, we know, going against James Harden is not the best defender in the world. So I like Mitchell at 8,500. I like Mitchell right now early on better than I like Harden.
Yeah, man. I bet you that Donovan Mitchell doesn't get over 35 fantasy points tomorrow. Bet you.
You still owe me $5 from the Vucevic and Jokic bet.
Okay, we'll get that one done. We'll get that done. Yeah, hey, I bet you another 5 run out double or nothing that he doesn't get over 35 fantasy points tomorrow. What you want to do?
Well, here's the thing, bro. How many shots has James Harden gotten in the last 3 games?
No, I get you. No, I get you on the James Harden thing. I'm talking about Mitchell.
Who's going to defend him?
Hey, bro, James Harden going to lock him up, bro.
James Harden has never locked anyone up.
All right, man. So, hey, I'm about ready to get up out of here. Hey, thank you guys very much for checking out this video. Hey, man, we got a lot of cool things going on right now with the site. We got a bunch of new articles. Make sure and go through the site. There's a bunch of new articles that we got going up right now that are being done every day. Got a ton of different plays, in-depth articles on why those guys are the top plays. Yeah, man, got some good stuff for sure. Make sure to check out, the exposure things that we got going on now with the site. Use those tools to the absolute full advantage to help you take down some tournaments, man. Thanks for checking out this video.
Hey, Steph.
Yeah.
Real quick, make sure you guys go check out. I know you just said it, but go check out specific things on the site. Like read the deep dive every day. It's a great breakdown of the slate with player recommendations we like in each game. There's a DVP, top DVP plays. Go check that out. We just launched another spot called Crush Spot, where it's 5 guys, one in each position, that we feel is in the best spot to crush the slate. We have filled out the site. We've brought on almost 10 guys to write content for the site that have experience from working for RotoWire all the way up to Sports Illustrated. So make sure you guys go and read that stuff. There's a lot of really good content that we're putting on the site, a lot of really cool tools that we're building. And like I said, sign up 20, take $20 off your first month just to check it out.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, hey, man, I think that's about all I got for you guys, man. Thanks very much for checking out this video. We'll be back tomorrow with our core play videos. Talk to you guys later. Good luck on your lineups. Peace out.